everybody, and welcome to the Strain After Show here on the theStream.tv Fan Show Network. We're getting ready to talk to you guys all about tonight's episode of The Strain that was absolutely incredible. We all loved it. We cannot wait to get started. My name is Sinead DeFries, and I'm joined by my fellow Strainers. We're getting ready to talk to you guys over here on my left.
Hi guys, I'm Stephanie Gray, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stephanie L. Gray.
Hey, over here.
Oh, well, hello, everyone. It's me, Jonny McGovern, at Gay Pimp on Twitter. And I'm very excited because this was the best episode of the season so far. Can't wait to get into it.
Yes, we all loved it. And also joining us.
Hey, everybody. Annie Graton over here. You can find me at Annie_Graton. Also, I agree, my favorite episode yet. There's so much gore and so much of the
Yeah.
a lot of that. So words can't describe a lot of the episodes.
Yeah,
for me,
more
is
like
what
sounds.
I'm trying to say. Yeah,
we were
more
all
like
going
sounds.
like, oh,
yeah.
bitch. It was a very ooh, bitch episode.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh, bitch, what just happened?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. It was great. I mean, I thought aside from all of the gore, it kind of started off that way, but just how much information we got and all the flashbacks are really coming together. And when things make sense, I get super happy, you guys. So I think that maybe the fact that things are starting to make a lot of sense, we're all starting to get really excited about this show.
Yeah, a lot of good character development, I think, in this episode. Like really juicy character development, especially with Abe. I love Abe and I love Icorst. I can't help it. I love them both.
Yeah.
Abe and Icorst, they're like the rom-com storyline of this whole thing.
They really, truly are. They are becoming like a thing. Like they're gonna have a couple names soon. You know, when you make hybrid names for couples.
Of course.
They're totally gonna. It's gonna be like Abrahorst or something.
Abe-Corst.
Yeah, the two of them are like. I mean, you have one person who you're rooting for as like the hero. Then you have another one who is like, even though we have this master, Icorst is the bad guy right now. So you have good and evil coming together, and when the two of them are together, their scenes are incredible.
Oh yeah.
It's like watching The Notebook. It's like Noah and Allie. Like their chemistry is so good.
I know.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Right?
Just like The Notebook, but with blood, fangs,
And vampires. But yeah, no, obviously not just like the Notebook, not even close at all whatsoever. Please don't hate on me for saying that. But I'm just saying their chemistry together is really starting to show and really making this entire episode was awesome because of it.
Oh, yeah.
I almost, this is gonna sound crazy now, but I almost started to like Icorst and started to almost feel bad for him.
I did say
But
that.
he was like, here, share my sandwich. Here, have some alcohol.
Share my
I just want a friend.
He's a Nazi!
We were like back there just thinking like,
some sense into you.
I know, and that's the craziest part about it all, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, we were back there, he is a Nazi, he is supposed to be, like, he works for Hitler in all of these flashbacks, and he works for the Master now, and it's just like, it's great, this parallel that they have, you know, and the fact that he's technically somebody's bitch the entire time he's like alive, like, you know, but I felt bad for him too, and he came in and he said that he tried to give Abraham that sandwich.
That sandwich, and then, okay, that we were all saying back there, like, what a great scene, that whole script when they were talking about dictatorship versus
and
democracy.
Yeah.
And you guys, Icorst straight up was like, there's the gun. This is why he thought that people want a dictator, because he's like, look, you have the choice, shoot me now.
You don't do it
Easier
because
not to make moves,
Yeah, it's easier to watch.
All of us in the room were like,
pick up the gun! End it now! End it now!
That was probably one of the smartest things he has said so far on the Strain. Because just to make that connection and say that he did have a choice to shoot him and end it, but instead he stood back. And you could see how pissed Abraham was when he got back down. He was angry.
He was the bigger person.
He was angry, and that's the whole point of this show, was like, you see all these things happening, and week after week we come in here, we're like, why isn't anybody taking this seriously? Why are we doing this? But this is the whole irony of the entire show. All of this shit is going down, but because it's safer to just be like, you're almost like in denial. It's like safer just to assume that everything's gonna be okay.
It's like, what would you do? Like, what would humans really do? You know what I mean? Like, what would you do in that situation? Would you pick up the gun?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Or what's interesting too is, it's Icorst when he's human.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love
Yeah,
that.
we found out about that this week, that he was still human when he was up in the
camp.
Nazi camp. And that we found out the big T of the week is that Abraham made the coffin.
Yes.
What?
Damn.
Whoa.
That is serious irony. I think that's so clever, though, honestly. The fact that he was the one, like, from the beginning that really gave the master, like, his home,
his tools,
if you will.
And it probably eats at him, too. You know what I mean? That probably, ooh, that probably.
Yeah, because he's been connected to them for years and years and years, and here he is about to do the same damn thing over and over and over, and he can put himself right back there to those concentration camps where this stuff started the first time.
And they met again years and years later in the underground subway where everyone likes to hang out, where zombie vampires tend to live. But on another note, we were joking around because Icorst, who's like this crazy vamp, has these Matrix moves. And I'm like, wait,
my gosh.
which show are we on?
Speaking of, that one. That was interesting.
Honestly, there's a lot to talk about with that subway scene and how that even came to be. But before we get into that, we should definitely talk about the lawyer and her family.
Oh, yeah.
And her crazy house.
And Nanny McPhee.
And Nanny McPhee. And Nanny McPhee. So now I have a question. The woman that ended up getting shot, we will get to the end of this episode because obviously that was the meat of the episode for us. But the woman that ended up getting shot by the SWAT team, if you will, what was her relationship to the nanny? Was that her daughter?
That's her daughter.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That to me was incredible, but before we get to that, it started out like that from the beginning with this woman's husband, who apparently doesn't like her very much or care a lot. You know, he sees her on the TV doing an interview, and he's like, oh my God, I'm just gonna keep pouring my drink over here because my crazy ex-wife bitch, like I can't. And then this crazy scene happens with the taxi driver, and great way to start the show and really like get us ready for all of the gore we were going to experience.
Got the ball rolling for sure in the beginning.
Jaws dropped. You're like, what? Oh, don't go in there. Drive the car.
I know. Drive the freaking car.
I know, in every scary scene, okay? Not only does the taxi cab driver not drive the car, which is the obvious thing to do, get away from the vamps who are trying to suck your face through the windows, but instead he's like, let me actually exit the vehicle. Let me just get out.
Let me just get out of my safe zone.
He's like, what is this? And he's like, drive your car. He's like, what is this? He's like, drive your car. He's like, but what is this? Like, he asked it 3 times before making a decision to do something, and then that decision was to exit and embrace the vampires.
Right.
That's a good show, though. You know it's a good show if in the first 5 minutes everyone around you is screaming at the television.
I know.
Plus, it's a good tip. Remember, when monsters are attacking your taxi, don't try to take time to kill them. Run! Go! You knew that taxi driver was trouble when he didn't accept credit cards.
You're right.
Right? You should have taken an Uber, and then it would have been fine.
Well, I think their credit card machine wasn't working because all of technology is down, right?
Well, I guess
make that connection.
Cab drivers are always like, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, man, that I like to mess with monsters.
Yeah, and it was interesting, too, because and the husband gets out, and he's like, well, it's really deserted out here. What's going on?
And he's like,
oh,
the eclipse. Yeah. Like, and he's like, oh, the eclipse? Like,
that's an automatic assumption. Eclipses obviously mean everyone has left the premises.
Yeah, like everyone's gone.
When?
That's what kills me right now about, like, that's what's weird to me about the shows right now is still, like, the public, the mass population.
Stupid.
It's like, no one on the news is like, you know, there's a vampire in my neighborhood, or there's like a crazy zombie in my neighborhood. Why is no one?
It's sarcasm. It is absolute sarcasm. It's absolutely, they're making fun of how ridiculous this situation is and the fact that no one is responding. Like, I think that it has to be on purpose. They're like, we see these people trying so hard, but like the masses, the majority of everybody else in New York is just going along. Like, even with, if we can kind of switch gears and get into Jim Kent's, you know, this what's the word I'm looking for? This confrontation, if you will, with Jim Kent and his wife, Nora F. and Abram, in the room. Even his wife, like, that's your husband. And she's like, you're gonna let this guy manipulate you? There's nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there seems to be a missing connection here with.
I know, because in real life, obviously, if there was an outbreak of vamps sucking people's blood everywhere, it would probably be on the news.
Right,
you know?
and it might attribute somehow to that one, the hacker girl that we haven't heard much from.
Yeah, we haven't heard from her.
Who probably took some of that power down from the media, but still, there's gonna be a way to like get that news out to the public. They I mean, you gotta know by now.
Oh, come
like,
on.
in today's
This
world.
isn't like the 1800s.
Exactly.
Like,
Well, I mean, if you were just say you were living in Strain World and you live in New York, which kind of sucks anyway. I'm from there, I can say that. It's always difficult. It's like having vampires around you all the time anyway. And then you just see things are happening, but the news is making it like it's not like vamps came out to kill, it's like riots or whatever. And you're like, oh, those riots. Thank goodness they're not here in New York. I'm just gonna go on the subway. What's this worm doing in my arm? Oh my God. You know, I mean, so it's easy to see how it could happen.
Can we talk about that for a second? This is something that tweet me.
were you gonna talk about the subway?
I don't understand why all of them are suddenly coughing with a cold.
Yeah,
and
You're right,
did
have
every
the face
single
masks on.
Well, let's
did everyone get a strain? A strain. Did everyone get a
Everyone got a
worm
strain.
in there?
Before
Or is
we
it, like,
get into that, because I know
contagious
that is really crazy, but before we get into that, we have to kind of set up this scene.
Oh, yeah.
How they ended up getting to the subway. Because even crazier than everybody having the flu, which you and I looked at each other like, what the hell is going
when did that
on?
happen?
Yeah.
We were so confused.
They've not set that
but
up, yeah.
let's talk about how they even got there in the first place. This master plan to trick or to, play Eichhorst and, trap him somewhere that ended up getting nobody anywhere. Like, it just
ooh, we
ended
got
up
him
nothing.
now.
It was the biggest, for me, that was the biggest disappointment of the episode.
Yeah.
It was very poorly planned. Let's go
Yeah.
to Grand Central Station. There's not a lot of people around there. Then we'll look for one fast 1,000-year-old man. And then when he starts to walk away fast, we'll be real slow and still hold our newspapers and stuff. And then when he gets like 20 paces ahead, then we'll kind of sort of fast mom walk down the damn thing. And then old Abraham's just like reading the funny papers while he's all zooming around. I'm like, y'all suck at tracking vampires.
And meanwhile, Jim's like, bye, wife. Like, have fun. Like, he just let her
It was just ridiculous, and like you're so funny because backstage in the green room, Johnny's like, you know what? Ephraim's really not very good at this. And it's just, it was hilarious to me too because there was like the part where Nora and Ephraim like separated to go, find him. They go down to that one dark alley, and like instead of running after him, like Nora had to wait for Ephraim to like catch up to her.
Yeah.
Like, but she just looks at him, and I was like, okay, so instead of just running and going to kill him or going to find out what the entire plan was, she's just gonna look at him like,
Should we go, F? F? F, can you please take off that hat because you look stupid all episode? F?
I know. F. Now that
I still love you, F.
Right. I mean, Nora and Cancer Wife should both take a taxi cab out of there with the way they're acting.
I know.
I mean, I don't know, but yes, okay, so.
They spent a ton of time, by the way, creating these silver weapons to not use them on anybody.
Jim should have used it on Eichhorst.
Okay, and
They're standing this close to each other.
Absolutely. Let's talk about how Ephraim goes and shoots Eichhorst once, sees that it worked in the sense that it got him away from Abraham, but then doesn't shoot him a second time.
Yeah.
Just waits for him to recover so that he can matrix out of there on the train.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no, what happened? And I'm like, dude, you had the gun in your hand. You clearly have good aim. Stephanie's like, I mean, he did a good job.
Yeah.
Why
keep going? Just keep
didn't
going.
they just shoot him again? They had silver bullets. Like, what are they doing?
I know they run up there like, oh, he's gone?
Oh, he just caught a train, literally?
Yeah. He
just caught a train.
Yeah, he literally caught a train.
Caught a train.
Went to his
And
master.
like, it's just, I don't know, you guys. It's like exhausting for me to watch people be so dumb in situations because you brought up a good point earlier, Annie, saying that if it was you, what would you do in those situations?
Right.
Shit happens. Like, we freak out. We always say, oh yeah, we're not gonna, if that was me, like, oh my gosh, I would have done that. Maybe it's not true. Like, maybe you're so overcome by shock, you don't know what to do. But if you already had the guts and the momentum to shoot him once in the leg, I don't see how we as an audience can appreciate the fact that he did not shoot him again.
Yeah,
can we just decide that that scene was annoying?
Well, he probably wanted to get the information so they could find the master. But let me tell you, the master's not just in like storage closet B right down the edge from the platform. I'm sure he's somewhere deep within rivers and oceans of zombie vamps, rats, chains, all sorts of shit.
And let me just say that I bet Icor's knew the whole time that they were following him.
He did.
10 steps ahead. He's like, you thought I was
gonna
gonna lead you to the master, eh? And we're like, oh, stupid humans again.
But I also love that he's always kind of playing with Abe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After he got shot in the leg, he's like, you live another day.
Yeah.
And
the fact that he said his number right away, like, you know, we're talking a little bit. You guys can tweet us if you think we're wrong, but we kind of think there's something a little flirty going on there.
This is the romance of the century.
Yes, it is.
Johnny called that. Like,
Ham or whatever they're going to be called.
Ham.
Ham. I got it.
Ham
Well,
or
because we just have to mention in the flashbacks, it got so homoerotic and weird that when Icor unzipped his pants, we all said,
right by his face. Yeah, we're all like,
we knew it was gonna happen.
No.
Right away?
And everyone's like, back away, back away.
Wow.
And he looked at his arm, you guys, when he like looked to check the numbers back in the flashback, he looks on the arm, slides it up, and he starts like massaging.
It's very tender.
3, 5, 7, 9. I just made up those numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And the whole thing with like looking at his hands, it was from the very beginning. There's like there's a vibe, and then he like whispered something to him. I can't talk. He whispered something to Abraham in his ear, and he was like, if the God that you believe in really does exist, what would he think of you? But even that, when he was whispering in his ear, like there's something very, very flirty about the way Icor treats Abraham.
Yeah,
it's just, there's a vibe there.
Yeah, he's a closeted homosexual Nazi vampire.
You know,
who couldn't come out of the closet, so he had to become a Nazi, and then he still couldn't come out of the coffin, so he became a vamp.
You know what I'm interested in? You know how, like, or we hear at least a little bit in the folklore of these vampires that the ones, or the people, the humans that they find like interesting and smart and stuff, like Icor, the master, they make them like a cool or like a intelligent vampire.
Yeah.
I wonder if Icor ever thought about that for Abraham. Like if he ever thought Abraham
wanted
was
him to be
if he ever wanted him to be that, but then it didn't, didn't work out.
Their relationship totally didn't work out. So he's like, you're a Nazi and I'm a Jew, so that's kind of
I'm thinking a little far ahead.
It's sort of a conflict of interest for us to like have this thing. But I will agree, Annie. I did kind of think that at first too when he said, "Come with me," and just saw how skilled he was.
Right? It's interesting.
Yeah,
their relationship.
I just love that these flashbacks are really starting to put the story together for us, and I think that now we can really, I mean, I say this every week, I'm like, we're getting there, but little by little we really are getting there.
I think this was the strongest episode.
Yeah,
it gave us what we wanted, though there are times when we're like, shoot him, or stop being stupid. Because that's part of the fun.
But you want to have that. You want to have times where you can like scream at the TV.
Because it makes us all feel really good about ourselves too.
Yeah. Or like in the back to the beginning, just really quick when they were like the stingers on the cab. Everyone's like
I know.
I love that. I love that.
And okay, this is why. I mean, okay, this is a lie. It was the greatest episode literally from minute 1. But what really took it to the edge was the fact that at the very end, all of a sudden, I felt like I was in a Star Trek movie where all of a sudden this entire different species comes along.
I loved it.
I was like, who are these people? Not people. Those are not people.
No.
Those are not people for sure. That was the moment of gag for the episode because we all gagged.
Yeah. Annie was like, guys, it's the SWAT team. It's the SWAT team.
Like, oh my gosh, you guys. It's a SWAT team. Like that. That was literally how Annie said it. But I loved it. I thought that that's so cool. I thought that it's about time that they introduce somebody that has that evil, like you don't know whether or not to trust them. But I also loved that it's sad, of course, like I'm not like, I love that they killed her, but the fact that, they're smart. They know that she got strained, Abe will like them.
Abe will like them.
Absolutely,
no
she got strained and they ixnayed her. They removed her from the situation, and that was a heart-wrenching scene, but they're cool. I'm so excited. I want to know who these people are. They're so cool.
Who are they? Because I have been re-listening, because I like to read with my ears, for the book. I don't remember these people at all from the book.
I didn't know. I thought we were done with other species as soon as I thought we got humans, we got some vamps, we got these vamp zombies, and now there's these people.
Do you think they're vampires, or do you think they're something else?
I kind of don't think they're vamps, and I also don't know if they're good or bad.
I honestly don't know either. That's the thing. It's like, what if these guys are trying to take over as well? Like, this is like the rivalry to the vampires, but they're trying to get people on their side because they're supposedly going to help the innocent people, like, be safe from the vampires, but they end up being kind of this rival gang, if you will, of other people.
Or what if they are vampires, but just from another master?
Oh, like another breed.
Another breed, and they're just taking out, this master's, minions.
Well, they were making the sound. There was a lot of great vamp sound effects when Abercorst was together, and he was with Jim Kent, and he was going.
He purred. That was a purr.
That was a purr.
That was a
and so the guy at the end, old SWAT team, who knows who you are, vamp. He was also making a purr kind of sound.
Did he
it was good.
He did. He when when they brought the kids close to him.
Let me turn you around.
Yes, that part. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so creepy.
You sound like, what do you sound like? You sound like
a cat.
Like a vampire monster.
Annie's is better. Yours is like, Annie's like.
That sounds like a baby cat.
You sound like a little pigeon, like a stupid pigeon.
That sounds like a pigeon, you're right, it's a pigeon.
Pigeon vamp.
Anyways, but yeah, that was awesome. I love that they brought those things in, but
and they killed the mom.
And they killed
the lawyer mom, because she was freaking me out.
Oh yeah,
she was freaking me out.
Talk about post-traumatic stress disorder for those poor kids. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
Ooh, yeah.
Somebody get those kids into therapy like yesterday.
You'll never feel the same once you see your mom like crawl like that. Like,
yeah, and then somebody shoots a silver log through her brain.
They can't afford therapy anymore because now they're the property of Nanny McPhee. And she lives in Yonkers. Yeah. So they're just gonna have to deal with it through public school like all other poor people.
Funny because it's true.
And she lives in Yonkers, so let's be real.
No therapy for you. Sorry, kids.
sorry.
Just deal with it. Get stronger.
Yeah, get stronger. No, but for real, they're gonna have to get stronger.
Oh, they will.
Everybody is gonna have to get a lot stronger.
Yeah. All of them. Your little mask isn't doing anything, City of New York.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, well, great episode, you guys. We're really excited to see what you guys have to say about it as well. You can keep tweeting us using the hashtags TheStrainAS for The Strain After Show. We're going to start answering your questions right now, and we'll be online all night answering them as well. The first question comes from @MastersMinions.
Can we just say?
Love that.
Yeah, she just said
That's funny.
Minions.
I love that.
That's really funny. Yeah.
Did you guys just change your handle right now?
That was our show.
No, but very cool. Will Felix turn and infect everyone in that cell?
Oh, I hope so.
Ooh. You guys, great question.
Yeah.
Great question. I'm really happy this got brought up. I was going to try to throw this in somewhere, but Gus, without his shirt on.
Yeah, slow clap.
Slow clap. That's good hard work in the gym.
I love it when you bend over.
No,
they gave
seriously.
you some cum gutter and a top of an ass. Thank you.
He is so freaking cute, and aside from being hot, just being sexy, so sexy.
He's a good
and I was telling our producer back there, I was like, damn, we would have such cute little brown babies, and it's my little dream of mine in the back of my head. But aside from being absolutely gorgeous, his loyalty to Felix and that whole scene is
loyal.
commendable. Yeah. He's extremely loyal, with his mom, with his friends. You can tell.
He's like, don't steal, man. I'm gonna bring that back. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
I work out.
I'm a criminal.
I transported a coffin and essentially started all of this.
Yeah, I ruined the world.
Details.
But I'm hot, just like normal. If you're hot, everything's fine.
Yeah. You gotta get out of jail free card. Ooh, hey, look at that.
Whoa.
I didn't even do that on purpose, you guys. That was just my smarts, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, I think that's a really great question because now we know that Felix also has the flu, which is apparently stage 1 of becoming a vampire. And I think that it's gonna come out by next episode. He's gonna be a vampire.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
But then Felix, well, I can't predict what I don't know, but then I wouldn't want to see Gus turn into a vamp because I'm attached to his human form.
Why would Gus turn into a vamp?
Maybe Felix, they're in the same cell. Felix turns into a vamp.
Maybe he'll whip that stinger away just like that nurse did.
Yeah.
To the
That
mom.
was gnarly.
Whip it. That was awesome.
Yeah, and then she died, so that's a shame.
Yeah.
That did show us one very important move. If you end up in Strain World and the stinger's coming at you, you can punch it.
Yeah, but then you have to risk getting a worm in your hand and then being killed by the flame.
Wear a steel glove.
Yeah.
Steel glove.
I would wear a silver pointy glove.
Silver pointy
I found my weapon. Silver pointy glove.
Why have none of the 4 of them constructed a full bodysuit made out of silver?
They all need armor.
I would tape flashlights to my entire body, one,
Yeah.
and then cover the rest of me in silver.
There we go.
You guys, come on, it's not rocket science, clearly. All right, the next question comes from @WillC.Wells. What in the dog rocket were those things at the end of the strain?
Dog rocket.
We don't know either, honey.
What in the dog rocket?
I hope they're aliens.
Yeah, they look like
I think
aliens.
they're a type of vampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to say they're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to say they're good.
I love that theory that they're
no-nonsense.
another breed of vampire. I think that's an excellent theory, Annie. I also like the fact that they might be bad. Like, I think that that's cool, too.
That's cool,
I
too.
want them to be good, though. I hope they're
me too.
good.
Me too. I kind of want them to be bad, and I'm going to be honest.
That's cool, too.
I like all the villains in this show more than the people that are not
That's
heroes.
true. I, of course.
Yeah, of course, I keep wanting to be like, yeah, get him, get him, you gay vampire Nazi.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like the villains too. They're turning out to be like the most exciting part of the show, you know, because clearly
evil.
it's not Nora and Ephraim. Let's be
and
real.
that
They need to
hat.
step it up.
That hat.
Step it up a notch.
I know.
He looked like little orphan Annie, like at the like what is that? Oh, Oliver.
Oliver.
More porridge, please.
Yeah, that's what he looked like the entire episode. Very
He did.
sad and pathetic. The next question comes from @FanForMe.
Yeah, we love you. We love you.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
tweeted forever.
Oh, yes, yes, of course, of course.
We
Yeah.
love you.
We were just talking about you. Oh my gosh.
We were.
Do you think Satrakian has inadvertently helped the vampires in the past more besides making the coffin?
Huh. Interesting.
Don't know.
Satrakian is the name of Abe. Okay.
Yeah,
Last name Satrakian.
Yes. Like, I think it's very possible. Like, what if they flash it back to like
He helped
some
make
other
that sword.
time? Or, I mean, I think that if they met when he was that young, you know, he's what, probably
knows?
early 20s, maybe teenage years when he's at the concentration camp.
Right.
I mean, it would be cool to kind of see between then and now, throughout his life, maybe they've just been like always had an eye on him. They've always kept an eye on him, or he's kind of inadvertently.
I want to see when I'd like to see the flashback when he when he kills his buddy, kills Icor's buddy when they referred to that a few episodes ago.
Yes.
I want to see.
Because I know
that.
that's when their relationship changes. So I'd like to see when that happens because I know that's when favors stop for the vampires.
Yeah.
That's
We
when
also
he
got the
starts to run away.
sword name tonight. That was big. It's the Sword of Sardu.
Ooh.
Which is an old-fashioned character I know from the book, but don't worry, I won't spoil anything.
Thank you.
I didn't know. I didn't even. That totally went
Sardu.
over my head.
Sword of Sardu.
I did not catch that at all.
Never
well,
actually
because
know.
I knew what to listen for because I'd done read the book.
There
so
we go.
listen to them.
I heard
That's why
something
I have
exotic, but I was like, ooh, okay.
Sword of Sardu.
Moving on.
That's a nice name.
That's a nice name.
But yeah, lots of things, a lot of questions like that, a lot of like more specifics with the Nazism. Obviously, now we know how they met, and now we know that Nora and Ephraim cannot be put in charge of following Icor's.
Of
No, I have an idea.
Of anything.
I have an
Anything in
idea.
charge
They
of.
need to meet up with Vasily already.
Yes, well, we know that we can look forward to that. That's going to
preview
happen.
for next week.
Yeah.
So that needs to happen.
We need
'cause he's
some
gonna take charge.
gumption here, and I hope that now that the SWAT team members, obviously Nanny McPhee knows them. I cannot. What is her actual name? Eva.
Eve or Eva? Yeah.
Nanny McPhee.
Nanny McPhee. Now that she knows
Nanny
these
McPhee.
people, you know, the three of them with the kids, she knows who these people are. There's no way they can hide that anymore. So hopefully the SWAT team, if you will, starts becoming a part of every episode. Like, I want them to be back next episode.
Yeah, they were.
Please, for the love
They were
of God.
killer.
Yeah.
I want to see them take out like 20 vamps.
Everyone.
Yeah, so that's something.
Love us.
You tell them, Annie.
Which is so funny. That's something we will definitely look forward to. We want the SWAT team members back. We want Gus shirtless again, of course.
More of it. I want to see his
episode,
butt on
every
the
episode.
inside even. What? When was it just me?
No, it wasn't just you at all. I think it was the best part of the whole episode. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. There was obviously better,
She's
smarter
not
stuff.
kidding.
But it was definitely a very close call for me.
Little highlight.
But it wasn't the best part of the episode.
But it was the best episode by far
Best
so far. in the
episode.
series.
Bravo,
Yeah.
the train.
Yay.
More like this.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for tweeting in your questions. You can keep tweeting us using the hashtag TheStrainAS for the Strain After Show here on the stream, and we'll be back next Sunday, or actually we don't know yet. We have to figure this out. We were not sure if there's an episode next Sunday.
We won't be back next Sunday
We will
because
not
you're
be
out of town and I have plans, and I'm sure y'all do too because it's Labor Day.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
No episode next Sunday. It's just been confirmed. That is great because the promo obviously just said next Sunday, but maybe they just want us to get extra excited, which we are. So you guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Keep tweeting us, okay? Don't get lazy just because it's Labor Day because we will be online all week. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and we're ready to see what else is coming on the strain.
Try not to like get strained in the meantime.
Yeah.
Definitely. And remember, if a stinger comes at you, punch it.
Oh, I missed that. I missed it.
Oh, you whipped it?
Well, she kind of slapped it. I think she kind of like
with my
bitch
sword.
slapped it more than
That was
anything.
kind of like a dynasty slap that she did. Like, how dare you, Alexis Carrington Stinger?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty badass. Overall, badass episode.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, are you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you in 2 weeks. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. We're super excited to be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Who's
All
counting
right.
it down?
3, 2, all together now.
2,
1,
Get strained.